Live from BCIT, this is Making It Work with your host, Ian Musa. Today's special guest is Chris McDermott and his assistant, Double R, demoing a special drum called the djembe. Let's beat it!
Hello and welcome to Making It Work. With me, my guest is Chris McDermott and I believe his assistant, Ryan Reed.
Hello.
Right. Well, how did you come by this instrument? He's going to be demonstrating the playing the djembe drum, by the way. How did you come by the djembe drum?
It was a gift around Christmas time. I was about at the age of 14 or 15 at the time that I got it.
Right. And what attracted you to the djembe?
At the time, a lot of friends and I were going down to the beach and the dike. We're in Richmond where I grew up. And we were playing an assortment of different hand drums. And the one I liked the most, or I was sort of attracted to, was the djembe drum. So I wanted one of my very own. And like I said, was able to get one as a gift.
Right. And how long did it take for you to learn how to play?
Well, to learn just the basic didn't really take that long at all, just getting down the 4/4 timing and the first few strokes that I'll demonstrate for you guys later on today. But at that point, I still can't profess to be very good at it at this point. You know, there's a lot you can do with it.
Right. I believe we have some footage of the djembe drum being played. Maybe we can take a look at that. You might want to explain to me what 4/4 timing is. I'm not too that.
Okay, well, 4/4 timing. A lot of people are probably very aware of it, although they might not know the terminology of what 4/4 is. And basically, a lot of the vast majority of pop culture music that's out these days, commercial work is in 4/4 timing. And so basically, it just means that if I were to demonstrate just here on my knees, is your root note, or like the note that you basically have to get to each time, is on your fourth. So
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So, how difficult do you think it would be for someone who had no previous experience of drumming?
To get the basics, it's very user-friendly. I don't think it'd be very difficult at all, and hopefully with a little demonstration here, I can help people along the way.
Great, excellent. I understand that your djembe drum is unique in that it's been imported straight from Africa. Does its authenticity make it for a better quality instrument than, say, a lot of the djembe drums that are fabricated in North America?
I believe so. I mean, that really depends on how, obviously, the drum was made in North America. This particular one is quite heavy, and if I can get Ryan to help me here. This one is quite heavy. It is drilled out one-piece wood right through the middle here, as you can probably see. So because of that, it does add a certain amount of weight to it and a certain amount of bass to it. So I get it's a lot bassier, I suppose, than a lot of the drums that I've heard here. The drum head itself is made out of antelope skin, as you can see, and some of the hair has been just kind of depreciated here over time, but you can see here. And so that gives it a different texture. It's a different type of drum head that I think that you can readily find here in Vancouver.
Right. Well, suppose I wanted to buy my own djembe drum. I mean, where would I go to make sure that I got the real deal and not just, say, a cheap imitation?
Well, we're lucky here in Vancouver and the Lower Mainland, it being so, you know, multicultural, that there are quite a few drum places that you can go to. The one that I would suggest just for laymen is basically going to Pacific Drum Center, where they'll help you out with their service. There's always people available to kind of help you get to where you want to go, but also their assortment and selection. You can get like the together ones with the Remo heads that we talked about earlier. And they'll be a little bit cheaper, and that'll just kind of get your feet wet, see if it is a type of drum that you'd be interested in pursuing a little bit further, and then from there you can obviously go up the price range and quality range.
Great. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to take a look at the drum in action. Are you ready for that?
Sounds good.
Excellent. Well, we'll be back after these messages.
Don, do you take Mary to be your lawfully wedded wife, for as long as you both shall...
No.
Hello? Hey, man. All right. 6.
Pasa, fresh quality ingredients, now in Richmond.
I'll try and demonstrate a little bit more so you have
And we're back. We're ready to listen to Chris play his drum. So, Chris, you might want to take it away.
Okay, I'll start with a few very, very basic lessons for the djembe drum. There's 3 strikes, or hits, we'll call them, that we're going to utilize right off the bat. That's basically every djembe player uses, and hopefully we can pass those on to the viewers at home and they can utilize them themselves. The first one, the most important one, is called the tone. Now, the tone is basically attained by take your hand and keeping your fingers together and hitting the drum anywhere between the center of the drum and the rim of the drum itself. Now, depending on where you hit, obviously the deeper the note will be. But if you want to go just, you know, somewhere right in between there, I'll give you an example of what that sounds like. Okay, so that's a tone. That's very, very basic, and that you're going to use that more often than any other strike that you're going to have on the drum itself. The other one is called a slap. The slap is typically done on the outside or the outer edges, the rim of the drum itself, and that's got a way higher pitch sound to it. So to attain that is very similar in striking power as you used with the tone, but this time you'll have your fingers open like that. So your fingers will be open, and I'll give you an example of what that sounds like. Okay, and that obviously is a lot higher pitch, and just to give you a comparison, tone, slap, tone, slap. The third and very important one, to my ear, the nicest sounding is the bass, but of course you want to use it sparingly to accentuate what you're going for. And the bass, as you may have guessed at home, is acquired by hitting the center of the drum right there. You can keep your fingers either separate or together, typically together, to attain the bass, but that's what it sounds like. You can tell it's not just a clever name, it's quite bassy. So, putting the 3 together. All right.
Excellent.
So those are the 3 beginner's techniques, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you can show us?
Beyond that stage, and you get familiar with it, you get comfortable with it, you get to a point where it's of your liking, is you can move on to a few other things. One thing that is quite traditional and to do is basically with one of your hands, whether you're right or left-handed, probably the opposite hand of your dominant, is hold the drum down, and you'll find that no matter how you strike it, whether you use a tone, use a slap, or use a bass, is that you'll get a completely different sound out of it. So, for example, there's a bass without, keep the hand down, so you can see it's nice and deep still, but it doesn't resonate quite as much. And you can utilize that basically with any of the strikes that you have. So, so you can see that there's it gives you a little bit more to work with in that respect.
Excellent. Well, do you play at any venues?
Not recently. Typically, if I am going to pull out the old, dust off the old drum, is that we'll get together in a drum circle and play with other drums. You know, utilizing the conga drums, which are a little bit cumbersome to the beach, so say for the example that I gave earlier. There's also bongo drums that are obviously quite well known and quite popular amongst people. And one that I really like is called a doumbek drum. Now, it's kind of a higher pitch drum, and it was really, in deciding what I wanted, it was between the doumbek and the djembe drum. I thought the djembe was a little bit more versatile, but the doumbek is really fun to play. It's nice to play fast, and it's a real nice high pitch drum, and that was actually Indian. So, I mean, you look at the congas being from the Caribbean or from Cuba and that sort of region, and Latin America. Bongo's the same thing. Djembe drum is very African, and then you look at the doumbek, like I said, is an Indian drum. So,
Great. Do you usually take your assistant with you?
Yeah, Ryan, my boy here, he goes everywhere I go. He's the kneecapper in case we get into trouble. But no, we play in circles together.
Well, we're about done, so why don't you just play us out for a little bit?
Sounds good. I'll do that.
Thank you for watching Making It Work. On the next show, we'll continue to beat it with Matt Bourne on his drum kit.